Now, it's school holidays, which means it's the perfect time to go prospecting in Malden. But before we go prospecting, what are the two things we have to do, kids?
Go into the lolly shop. And ice cream!
Alright, so lolly shop first, eh? This is terrible! The ice cream shop's closed. Oh! Let's hope the rest of the trip goes better, because coming to Malden and not being able to get a Malden ice cream is, well, it's just not right, is it, kids? No. On the way here, we had a look in the creek, and there's water in the creek, but
it's not flowing.
No, it wasn't flowing. That looks like a piece off the dredge. So, what I'm hoping is that some of the upper reaches of the creeks around here are dry enough that we can dry classify. If they're not, well, I'm not sure what we're going to do. I've come to an area that's a ways upstream from where I've been previously on this creek, and it's not looking like a good spot for today. The reason being is that the erosion isn't very severe, and because there's all this vegetation covering, that means this creek's unlikely to be picking up and moving new material, releasing new gold. And while there are some decent rocks and gravels here growing up through all of it, even if we were to have a go at this, I don't think it's going to be dry enough to dry classify. Plus the blackberries and the gorse don't look like fun, which means it could be a good spot because it doesn't look like fun, therefore someone might not have had a go at it. But we're going to leave that for another day, either when there's water flowing here or when it's a lot drier. We're back at a spot where I've got gold from before, and it's featured in a few of my videos. And there's two spots here which I've had my eye on ever since I first been coming here, and I think today's the day we're going to try one of them. So there's this trench here in the middle of the track, and it's kind of on an inside bend. Inside bend's going that way, and the creek actually goes that way in front of the car. And it's got all these nice big chunky rocks in it. But I'm wondering if this is a man-made feature that someone's dug, maybe chasing a pay streak, which would be interesting. Regardless, there's two reasons I'm not going to have a crack at this one. The first is that the bed here of the creek, it just feels like it's deep. And if we were to fully check out this, we'd have to go down to either bedrock or false bedrock, and I suspect it's a long way down. The second reason I'm not going to do it is it's right in the middle of the track, and digging a whacking great big hole in the track is probably not cool. Like just a little ways downstream, we've got a relatively shallow sweeping bend. That's where we just were. Coming around here. Oh, look at all these gravels. But then it makes a really sharp turn and takes off towards Angus around that way. And there's this big mound here that the car's sitting on, and it's like a 90-degree turn. Now in flood, the water's going to be tearing across this mound here. Well, actually in flood, this mound's possibly not even going to be here because it'll just get swept away. But then it's all dumping into this channel here. And so I reckon this spot here, in fact here, right here, I reckon is where we're going to dig our first trench. Because they'd be coming through there and dumping there. So that's where we're going to dig, guys. Right, so we've got our little sample trench going here. Arlen's doing some great work there, aren't you, mate? If we look down the bottom, we've got through to a false bedrock. That's a clay, solid clay layer just there. Yep. So what we're going to do is, Arlen, if we don't focus on extending the trench, we just want to clear it up, clear down to the bottom. We don't want to dig into that clay, we just want to dig along it. Okay?
Yep.
Cool? Good boy. All right, now over here is most of the dirt from that trench, which is laid out on this bit of cloth to dry out because it's a little bit damp. And this area's got a lot of fine gold, and to be making sure we catch it, just want to let it to bake a little bit get rid of that last little bit of moisture, because if you see that compared to the blonder colour over there, which is a bit more dried out, leave that sit there for a while, maybe turn it over a little bit, dry it out, and then stick it through the classifier. So I'm just clearing this up now, and I've got this fine layer with a little bit of clay in it, but still a lot of sand off the bottom. And that layer is actually below the gravel layer. You see here we've got gravels, rocks, down to about here somewhere, and then here it's a fine sandy material with a bit of clay in it, and the clay is increasing. So by clearing off what is either the top of a layer or could be false bedrock here, I want to take this, see if I can find some water and sample this, see what we find. And also, because it's a long walk to the water, or what I hope where there's going to be water, I think I might just grab a pan of this gravel down the bottom and see if we've got gold in that. Well, it's not much water. I'm wishing I'd brought a bucket and a tub. First thing is it's very blonde. There are a couple of heavies in there, like those brown dots, and there's some black dots in there. But look, there might be a nano dot or two, but I'm kind of more hoping than actually seeing it. So that was the bottom layer, that very, very fine sandy layer on top of the clay. So we'll see what the gravel's got. Well, that's interesting. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now on this creek, I've found gold downstream of that spot. I found gold upstream of that spot. I think I need to go back to the bend and have another look. Now I've had a bit of a think and a wander around, and Angus has done a really good job of extending that hole, but I think we're going to shut it down because we didn't find anything there, did we, Angus? Yeah, and Angus is a bit sad because he fell over. He had a bit of a spill, fell down a mullock, flat on his face. So I had to spend some time sitting in the chair, doling out cuddles. And this is the view from where I was sitting. I was taking note of this pile of gravels built up just here, and it's on the inside bend. It's a ways further inside than the original hole we looked at over there. And it really does seem to be building it up amongst this Chinese bush here, but it's quite blonde. There's a lot of quartz, which has got a specific gravity or density of around 2.8 kilos, 2,800 kilos per cubic meter. There's a bit of shale in there. Nothing interesting though, or a bit of glass. So you got to watch that digging around with your hands. So interesting, but I'm not thinking it's interesting enough to dig. But should I have sampled that? Because if that was an inside bend and it's dumping that gravel on top of whatever layer was there before, would the bottom of that gravel mound been a good spot to get gold from? I don't know. I'll have to wait until next time. A challenging thing with landscapes like this is trying to work out what's natural and what's not. Now the track is obviously a feature, which is doing things, you know, to the riverbed. But is this build up of here, is this natural? Is this something that's been deposited? Is that where someone's come through with a bucket? Is it like a step there? Or is that a trench that someone's dug out? And this is their spoil that they've piled up when they've been digging here. Hard to say. Now, straight ahead, we've got a big lump of what is presumably dirt that's been turned over by the old timers, but a long time ago because it's got tree stumps in it. Got a big pile of rocks there. This original bend cliff feature that we were trying. And then this swings round into this band of gravels over here. But this is interesting because the character of the gravels here is very different. If you start sitting right on top, ooh, little spider, little crab jumping spider. See that jump, jump, jump. You jump again, where are you going to go this time? Anyway, right, okay. So sitting right on top, lump of ironstone. And it's not alone. That's what, a third? 25% ironstone. So I'm just going to cut a trench right across this bar, this gravel bar, and see what we get. But I'm going to maximise my chances of success because we've got big rocks here, we've got a big rock here. So I reckon we're just going to stick it right there. But even so, that's going to take a while. How many times have I told you not to fill in my hole?
600 times.
Now you guys didn't see what it was, did you?
No. What was it?
Whoa! Things you find in your holes. I wasn't expecting that.
What is it?
Just sticking my hands down there to clear it out. Look at that little beauty. Don't fill in my hole.
It's a scorpion.
It's not a yabby.
It's a piece of gold.
No! Ah!
Oh, man.
Finally. Got this log, not log, what do you call these things, guys? Rock dislodged down the bottom of the hole. Unfortunately, I've collapsed the whole side of it as well. But the log, the rock is free. Well, I've just found this down the bottom of the hole, wedged underneath another rock. But it's a piece of brick. So yeah, definitely redeposited material. If that's down the bottom. I don't know where the scorpion is. It's gone. Right, well, I'm out of time, but I did get down to the bottom. Once you got that rock out of the way, just down below the brick is the bottom. And it's a very fine, sandy material. And because it's so full of sand, even if it's got a little bit of clay in it, that's probably our bottom layer, our false bedrock. Yeah, so it's turned into a bit of a hole instead of a trench. I would have liked to have taken it further over behind these rocks back to where my pick is. But yeah, that's 3 times as much dirt to shift, and I've got all that to classify. So that is what I'm gonna have to get on with right now. Well, we're all done, we're all loaded, and we're heading home. So kids, have we had fun?
Yeah. Not very much. I lost my shoes.
You've lost your shoes. Now, if you haven't seen it, I'm currently working on a series called the Fluid Dynamics of Prospecting. At the moment, I'm covering the basics, but down the track, I'm going to be building a new high banker, new wash plant, and going through the design process with people in the videos. Here it comes. Oh, beautiful. Look at that all starting to come through there. So I should stop and go and get the kids for the last little bit. Now guys, this is the last little bit from all the dirt that we collected the other day.
Okay.
When we saw the scorpion. Okay.
Oh, is that a piece of gold there?
I don't know, is it?
It is. I see. Go,
Yeah,
go,
yeah,
go,
hands
go.
back, hands back.
Go, 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 go.
Heads back. Oh, what's
Go.
that?
Oh, a piece of gold. What's that? He says a gold.
Look at that.
Yeah. We got little specks. Yeah.
You got pickers.
Tinga, tonga. And a big speck of it. Tinga, tinga, tonga. Tinga, tinga, tonga. Tinga, tinga, tonga.
Right, so more eggs off, and Angus are off dancing, celebrating. But look at that,
There's a lot of tiny pieces of them.
isn't there?
Yeah.
Now that's not a lot of gold for a lot of work. It was a lot of fun, but it's not a lot of gold, but it's cool to see. But I didn't finish that trench. I didn't cut all the way across the channel. So that gold might be just from the edge of the pay streak. And if I went a little bit further, I might get onto some pickers, because this creek does have pickers in it. I've found pickers there before. You can go back and check some of the other videos I've done on this creek, and got some really nice chunky stuff out of it. So I don't know when I'm gonna get the chance, but sometime I'm gonna get back to that spot, finish that trench, and see what I find in the rest of it. And the biggest thing that tells me that we're not on the pay streak, no lead. Now, normally I produce the fluid dynamics of prospecting and publish them every Wednesday. This Wednesday though, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to miss that, because today is Monday, going camping, and I won't be back until Thursday, but I'll be filming that episode while I'm away, and a bunch of other stuff too. Going to an area where there's some really good gold, but also garnets, and in particular what I'll be chasing is sapphires. So hope we have some success, and you will get to see it on the channel. So subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll catch you guys in the comments before I head off camping if you're quick. So have fun. Catch you guys later.